So today I'm down here at my above ground pool. Now this is just a standard 20-foot, 4-foot deep above ground pool. And I'm here to talk about that guy, which is the Betta SE. It's essentially a skimming cleaning robot that constantly is floating on the surface, solar powered, and keeps my pool as clean as possible. Now I also have a robot that cleans the bottom of the pool. But the nice thing about it, having that guy clean all the stuff as it lands in the pool, well, makes the job of the other robot substantially easier and keeps my pool filter running better, so I don't get as many clogs and have to clean that as often. It just makes my life easier. So today, we're going to talk about this guy, the wonderful Betta SE, their newest robot in their lineup. So let's take a peek. Well, welcome back to techgooch, guys. And this, as you can see, is the Betta SE. It's right now just floating past me. It's got two propellers on it that actually gives it the propulsion. It's figuring out where to go. It's got kind of these sensors in the front of the boat itself that actually are sensing the walls and sensing objects and stuff, so it actually knows where it's kind of going. And it actually diverts itself pretty well to cleaning the pool. Now, we've actually been really cool lately here in Iowa. So today is actually going to be our warmest day of the week, or the last 4 or 5 days probably. It's been in the 70s, which has been fantastic. However, haven't been using the pool because of that. Now, because of that, it's been a good time to test this guy fully, because I haven't ran my bottom cleaning robot, and so I really wanted to see how much leaf litter I'm getting out of this guy and how much is actually going to make it to the bottom, especially during the night when that thing does shut down because there's no solar light for it to charge. Now, the neat thing about this is all solar powered. There's no power cords to it. There's not even a charge port where you can charge it yourself if you want to. It's designed specifically to be on the pool charging itself while it's running. They don't even want you taking it out of the pool, setting it in the sun in the heat, because that you could possibly damage the robot by doing that. They want to just leave it in the pool. If you're not in the pool and there's no other robots or anything in the pool, just let it float around and capture all the stuff. When you need to take it, turn it off, set it in a shady place so it's out of the sun so it doesn't get too hot. Because in the water, obviously, it has the water to cool itself down. It's quite a little fantastic robot. Now, the other thing, they actually give you this little remote, and that is to retrieve it safely, essentially is what this is for. It's not for you to play around and act like a remote control boat. It's designed so if it's in the deep end of your pool and you can't get it, because they don't want you to be in the pool with it, right? Like it's not like, oh, you're going to use your pool. Yeah, just let the robot keep going. It does have propellers and stuff on it, so they don't want to damage the robot, but they also don't want to potentially, cut you or anything like that. So this little remote allows you to easily retrieve it by directing the robot basically where you want to go to pick it up. So like I said before, I do have this remote, and this remote control, I can actually control the robot if I needed to come to me. So let's say that robot was in the deep end of a pool and I just, safely couldn't go get it. This allows me to retrieve it without me getting in the pool as well. So right now you can see it's over there. I'm going to hit the center button to stop it. And actually right now the robot stops. So if I actually push and hold to the right, it's going to turn right. I'm going to just keep holding it until I get it to where I want it. And I'm going to hit forward. Just push the button once. Don't have to push and hold. And now it's just going to drive forward until it gets over to me. And of course, now it's veering off course. So I'm going to hit left and push and hold left. Bring it over to me. Press forward again. Bring it over to me. And then I hit the center button to stop it. And now I can actually kick it off and, well, let's take it out. So there is some leaf, it does tend to get leaves kind of stuck alongside of it, which is not a bad thing, it is what it is. And I'll show you what it looks like actually sucking up the leaves. But I haven't actually emptied this in the since last night actually. So this is the overnight and then this morning's leaf litter. So on this robot, there's a front clip, and that's all that's holding this solar panel, which is also the lid, from flipping up. And then we have the basket that has all the leaf litter in it. Actually, there is quite a few bugs. There's actually a bee or a wasp in there. Looks like a Japanese beetle in there. All the stuff that was floating on the surface of the pool, essentially, climbed up on this. And so this is actually the flipper that's actually pulling it into the basket, which has, there's just a You probably can't see that right where it is. I'll show you that here in a second. There's just a little geared motor right here that actually attaches to this, and it's just pulling stuff off the surface and throwing it in here. And then it's got the micro netting on the bottom and back side. So I'm going to take and wash this out over here with, actually I'm using my filter's backwash hose, clean this guy up. So here's it all. I'm just going to dump it here on the ground, which eventually my lawnmower will get all that stuff. And then I like to rinse out as many of the big leaves as I can. And then I go from the back side, kind of give it a good rinsing. Depending on how much small debris you have in here, you could clog up that nice fine mesh stuff. Or if you're using a flocculant or a clarifier for your pool, it'll gum this stuff up because it's pulling all the crud off the surface. So there's that. So showing this from the other angle, you can see the gear right here, the red gear. That's actually what's driving the guy. But then you can just put this guy back in. Don't worry if there's extra little leaves in here. It's not going to hurt anything because it's going to pull more into it anyway. But I like to try to keep it as clean as I can. And then just snap it shut. Now if you notice the solar panel getting dirty, you might want to wash that. And how I do that, I just splash it up and just kind of rinse it off. They recommend just, cleaning it off with a hose and then wiping it dry. I don't even wipe it dry because the sun's gonna bake that off. So from the outside of the robot, then we have these rollers. They just keep it rolling against the side of the pool, so it kind of directs itself. That's on both sides. Underneath here, we have these two pieces here that you can kind of see the white to them. So there's actually a button that I can push in and then drop this down. It'll lock into place lower. So if you have a pool that has stairs or something that you don't want this robot to go over, like they're really like shallow stairs, like not a whole lot of water above them, put these down and then the robot can't actually drive over them, right? Because it's gonna keep it low enough where the bottom of the body isn't gonna get stuck on it. Now I don't have stairs, mine are removable, so I'm gonna keep those up. But that's what those are there for, so that the bot stays out of shallow areas. And then on the back side is where we actually have the propellers. So we have two propellers, and look at that, I do have some stuff stuck in that propeller. I haven't noticed any degradation, but there we go. So two propellers and then our big on and off switch here. Now we also have those same pieces back here because sometimes the robot does go in reverse. So again, if you have a shallow area, you can drop those down. But that's what the outside of the bot looks like. Let's put it back in the water and then we'll keep going. So then what I'll do is after I'll put this guy back in the water, and then before I flip it on, that's when, if I need to clean it, I'll just take some water, clean the solar panels, just get all the extra water off, make sure that this stays latched. Then flip the switch on the back of the bot. That is it. You can walk away. It's going to take care of the rest. As long as it's got a good battery and good sun, it's going to just keep going around. Now the nice thing about it is you don't have to worry about taking this out of the pool at night. At night when the sun goes down and the battery gets depleted, once it gets to a low battery, it'll actually go to sleep. It'll put itself to sleep. And essentially it's putting itself to sleep to save the battery, essentially, right? So it doesn't go to 0%. And then it won't wake back up until it has enough power to actually try to get around the pool to get to where there is sunlight. So that's not going to happen until the next day. But there you go. So it's coming around here and it's actually sucking the leaves up that are here on the other side of the pool. I'm just going to try to get this as it comes around. We even have this branch. It'll actually suck like little branches and everything up. And then it just keeps chugging along and leaving nice clean water in its wake. Now, like I said before, I have not cleaned the bottom of my pool for a few days with my my cleaning robot for the floor. So you can see the leaf litter that's actually at the bottom that this bot didn't get, probably most likely because it was at night and it wasn't running. And because of how many trees I have, right, quite a few, well, I have to deal with that. One of the other things that I've been testing out is various obstacles. So I have, this is just a floating a chlorine tablet holder, and it does actually a pretty good job. Once it actually gets in front of the robot will actually back off of it, or in this case it looks like it's trying to turn around it, and it does it constantly. It does actually a really good job. Even with a thermometer, I had a thermometer that was on a rope. The rope broke, so it was floating throughout the pool. This guy actually, it did get kind of into the flipper there. It actually backed away from it and went around it. But because of that, because the rope broke, I took it back out of the pool. So just let it keep going. A couple last things I wanted to go over real quick. So on the front of this robot, right here, are sensors that actually are looking out over the pool, essentially sensing its environment, so it knows where the walls are, things like that. It does actually a really good job of sensing that and keeping it, making sure that it's kind of guiding its way around the pool. It does a really good job. Secondly, and this is more for our indication, there are 2 lights on each side. Now, if it has plenty of charge to it, they're going to blink green and let you know that everything's good. If they're blinking red, that means it has a low charge or a low battery. It's going to be trying to find sunlight to charge itself. If you had it in the pool overnight, just let it go. It eventually, when the sun comes out and it's bright enough, it's going to work just fine. So we're going to release that back to the wild and let that go. Last item I wanted to touch on with this guy is, now I allowed it to run with my robot. My other robot, which is a floor cleaning robot, that one has a cord, and that cord goes in the pool. I wanted to see how it would do and see if it would actually go over the cord. It did okay. Now, if you look at the instructions of this guy, Betta does not recommend having it run with another robot. It is run it by itself. If another robot's in the pool, pull this guy out, put it in a shaded spot, let it sit. But I still wanted to try it. And it didn't do too bad. It helps. But if you have one robot, like the floor robot that's corded running, that cord can actually stall this robot. It'll actually get up on the cord if the cord floats enough. The thing that I haven't tried that I think probably would work is if you added some weights to the cord so it was just floating below the surface, maybe a couple inches. I bet that would actually work. That said, the nice thing about this robot, it keeps the leaf litter from drowning into the pool to the bottom, so I don't have to run my floor bot as frequently. So there we go. So that is the Betta SE, guys. If you have any questions or comments, please post those below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I'm super impressed. BettaBot, you've been doing great jobs, and the SE version, which has the upgraded motors, has basically all the new features that they pumped into this. It is fantastic. 2 thumbs up. It keeps my pool clean, and it keeps me happy because I'm not doing it. Since I got this robot, I have not had to use my screen filters that, by hand, screening the surface to get the leaves off. I haven't had to do it. Yeah, there's a couple of leaves that are stuck against the side, but then my floor cleaning robot will actually go up the sides and swallow those up. So essentially, with those 2 robots combined, it's something not to be messed with. So the Betta SE. Check it out. I'll have the link to the product right at the top of the description where you can purchase as well as read more about it on their website. It's bettabot.com. Thank you for watching to the end. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, we'll see you back here for another future video review. We'll see you soon.